This is video 218. It's about the actions box, BOXR, and mat. Here it sets an XY position, sets a font size, a color, and then it says box 10. What that means is 10 characters using this font at this position XY are clickable. And if it's clicked, it will give you a click number of 12. Next, it puts that text on the screen, getting it from page A offset 512. So, let's look at the screen. This is the text that it put there. It's the 10 characters. If we click there, you'll see a 12. Each time I click, because we assigned it click number 12. But I'm ahead of myself. Let's go back. So, those 10 letters were set up as click 12. If they're clicked on, you're going to get a value of 12. Here it sets tall, wide, change the value of X, makes the color, and says box R with a 2. Box R, the R stands for rectangle. We just defined a rectangle, how tall it would be, how wide its X value, and we didn't change Y, so Y is still at 50. We set the color, we assign that rectangle the click number of 2. Here we draw the rectangle. Next, we set a font size 440. That's pretty large, and black. We use the action click to see if a 2 was clicked. If it wasn't clicked, we're going to go to GI down here. But if it was clicked, it's going to continue on to these other instructions. The first instruction it will see then, mat X for 2. There is a matrix of sub-rectangles inside that rectangle, 4 columns and 2 rows. So it's saying put the value in X of what sub-area in that rectangle they clicked on. Well, what do we mean by that? Well, let's go back and execute it. We know if we click here, it's going to say click number 2. But we wanted to know about sub-areas in this rectangle, and that there are 4 columns, 2 rows. Well, this would be in first row, first position. I click there. It says there's a 0. X's value is 0. If I click here, it'll be 1. If I click here, it'll be 2. If I click here, it will be 3. And then in the second row, it'll be 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, even though this is click number 2, using the mat action, you can get a whole lot of values out of this. Therefore, you can make tables and call the whole table click number 2, but actually have hundreds of spaces in it that could be clickable, and you will get to know which one. Go back to the program. Here is that mat instruction that divided the rectangle with 4 columns and 2 rows, and we saw it put in X the value of those sub areas that were clicked, and here it's just showing you that it's going to display the X value on the screen, and we saw it did that. Well, the other option here was that it went to GI. That's down here, and it says click C. If anything was clicked, put its value in C. That's its click number. Otherwise, go to GJ, which is just to go home. Things to remember about click. First of all, it's never going to get click to, because up here, before it ever went there, it took away click to by saying come down here if the click was 2. Also remember, if this click on C had been put before that click would never happen. So the two things happen. Once a click is on a value and that value, a click number, is found, it erases the fact that there's an active click. Also, the click, once it gets the value of the click and puts it in C, you can never ask any more questions about the active click because it erases the active click. Alright, so here, when it fell down here, then it displayed the value of C on the screen. So we'll go back again and execute it. If you click here, it's going to tell you C was 12. If you click here, it's going to tell you what sub area you clicked on. Alright, that's the end of video 218.